there was a bombshell report from ESPN. Jeremy Fowler and a couple other people co-reported it and broke the story. It's one of those things that take me back to an older time where you used to get these long ESPN articles, 2,000 word essays, just really doing a deep dive into what's going on with a certain team. And I always love when we get those because you could get reports, but when you get the real deep dive and you have people that's talking to multiple people, multiple sources, those are the ones I really like because you get the whole picture, you get the totality of of what's going on. And basically this report goes in length to explain why the Eagles offense was so effing bad last year. And
It was bad. It was bad.
as a notorious Eagles hater, I love this shit, dog. I love it.
Woo.
I love it. I love this so much
Drama in the building.
because we have had so many conversations about Jalen Hurts, and he is the hardest person to quantify because it's obvious he's not that great, but he's great when he needs to be, and it completely colors the conversation. Nobody can be honest when it comes to Jalen Hurts. You're either overly critical and you don't see the beauty in what he provides, or you are absolutely delusional and you ignore all of his obvious flaws. This right here makes it a non-negotiable, dog. He was the reason why the team was bad. He was holding them back. When things are not completely perfect, you end up throwing a ridiculous pass against the 49ers in a playoff game that has your own coach saying, what the hell is that? We can't do four verts. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, back to back, if you don't know what I'm talking about, please read the article. Please. That is one of the biggest issues or the biggest highlights of the article is the fact that Jalen Hurts repeatedly just changed plays to Madden plays, dog. You run four verts in Madden, dog. Not professional football at the highest level against the greatest minds who we've ever had in defense, bruh. You can't spam four verts, dog. You can't do four verts in Madden. It only works on rookie mode, bruh. You think it's gonna work in the NFL?
Well, the thing is, Herbie, if you're gonna do four verts in real life, and in real life football, you can't do it back to back. Like, what you think the team is just gonna let that happen on the very next play? These guys are too sophisticated. They're too disciplined. Like, come on, bro. What do you want
Yeah,
to
and I don't want to get caught up on that because obviously it's
do? There's more to it.
basically, but the crux of the article is, hey, this is a person who is very stringent on what he wants to do, whether it rubs anybody the wrong way, he doesn't really care. He's going to do what he wants to do, and he's going to do it his way. And this is
He
a
didn't
man
want
who's
to be
had.
better, Herbie. He didn't. That's what you know. What I'll let you finish,
No,
but
go ahead, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
that's the thought that, like, when I was reading the article, the thing that probably took me aback the most was considering this is a guy who went to a Super Bowl and lost, and then ended up going back to a Super Bowl. It just goes to show you. And listen, Eagles fans, y'all not gonna like the fact that I'm saying it like this, but it just goes to show you how much help he had, because it's not like Jalen Hurts wants to improve as a player.
Right.
When they talk about all the coordinators he's had and all the coaches he had, like even when Kellen Moore was there, and
And to hold that thought, I have the list of the coordinators just so I can
perfect.
help you. I can help you enhance the thought that you're gonna have. So
Well,
hold that
Herbie,
thought.
I can remember them off the top. He had
Oh,
Doug
go ahead, go
Peterson,
ahead, go ahead, go
Doug
ahead. You go
Peterson,
ahead.
Shane Steichen twice. Then he had Kevin Patullo last year. He had Kellen Moore, and he had another guy who I'm forgetting right now. But he's going on his sixth coordinator. I
Kevin
got
Patullo. Oh yeah, you said Kevin Patullo. So
yeah.
this is, and then you got to think about it. Going back to college, he had four different coordinators in 4 years. So he had Lane Kiffin, Brian Dayball, Mike Losky, and then Lincoln Riley. So from college to last year, and he has another one in Steve McMahon right now. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 different coordinators in 12 years of playing football at the collegiate and NFL level. And This is the argument that we made all last year. If you have completely different philosophies, completely different coachings, and everything looks the same, the issue has to be with Jalen Hurts. Kellen Moore does not run with the New Orleans Saints what he did with the Eagles. Shane Steichen does not run what he does now with the Indianapolis Colts, what he did with the Eagles. They all had to force this square peg into a round hole that is Jalen Hurts, the quarterback. You don't want to go under center. You don't want to do shifts. You don't want to do motion. You want to stay in pistol. You want to put the entire offense in a position to do what you feel comfortable with, which is to play Madden and spam four verts.
He wants to do four verts, drag route, screen pass.
You just want to play Madden, dog. That's it. That's all you want to
You know
do.
what's funny, Herb? Now I AJ Brown being mad at him was funny before, bro. With the context,
It's hilarious.
hilarious, dog.
It's outrageously funny now. It's outrageously funny now. This dude was reading the Bible on the sideline, man. This
Do
is
anything
in
for peace
this
of
is
mind.
and I'm eating all of this up. Like as a hater, as a notorious Eagle despiser, I'm eating this up. However, my animus for the Eagle as a record label, an organization, and a general existence, just my animus towards them is separate from me just being an analyst, me somebody who watches football, me as somebody who pays attention to what people are saying and how people are acting. The fact that you goddamn Eagle fans were trying to gaslight us like everything was okay just because they were successful. If you dared to say Jalen Hurts was not a top 5 quarterback, they wanted to kill you, dog. They wanted to put you on a stake and have you hanging like Jesus Christ, bruh. Blood soaking and all, dog. That's what they wanted to do. All we dared to do was be honest about what we were saying. Hey, this guy is obviously being aided by arguably the greatest collection of offensive talent ever put together, if not the greatest collection of offensive talent put together since the fucking 80s 49ers. It's skewing the conversation. It's skewing the assessment of what he actually brings to the table, what value he brings to the table. Nobody is denying that Jalen Hurts is not somebody that could lock in when he needs to lock in. Nobody is denying that Jalen Hurts is somebody that you could win a Super Bowl with. We obviously seen it. Nobody is saying that Jalen Hurts ain't built for the moment. Those are intangibles. But the tangible is the fact that homie's not running the plays, dog. Like that's not sustainable.
No,
It's not sustainable, especially if all it takes is to be 1% worse at football in the NFL. 1%. And that 1% difference is the difference between having a 15-2 record and an 11-5 record. If you have a 5 or 10% drop off, you're going to look terrible. You're going to have a worse offense than the Saints last year with A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith and Saquon Barkley.
unbelievable. And you know what, Herbie? This is another thing to consider too, right? The coach that they have coming in is a guy who he comes from the Shanahan coaching tree.
Yes, motions.
You know exactly. You know one thing that he was opposed to? Shifts and motions in the Jalen Hurts wants and probably needs the offense to be as simplified as possible. So now you're getting a coach who loves to do all that window dressing in his offense. So what do we? So something's gonna have to give, right?
Oh, something is absolutely gonna have to give. Listen, the demise of the Eagles, bro. I love it, dog. I love it, bro. I love it. I'm finna play hit 'em up all night. I'm just have hit them up back to back. The demise of the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm so here for it. I'm so here for it. I love it. But again, this there's no debate. There's no argument. His own team, like Eagles fans, y'all gotta eat this shit, bro. Y'all gotta eat humble pie. Y'all gotta have this egg on your face. This is a lot of the quotes and sources are coming from his own teammates.
That's the most damning thing about it. It's one thing when you hear it from the coaches or you hear from outside, but dude, the dudes that play with you, like Herbie, imagine being a guy on that team in that moment against the 49ers. You already ran four verts. Just to go back to the four verts conversation, you're in that huddle and you're listening to Jalen. All right, we're gonna do four verts again. Nigga, what? Nigga, we doing four verts again? Nah, you gotta be fucking with me, man. Again?
Oh,
Nigga,
again.
stop fucking with me, bro.
And literally one of the coaches, they have a quote. They saying, we can't run four verts against that coverage. Like saying it in real time. Everybody was shocked at what they were watching.
You remember
Because
Sirianni's
one
face? It was like he couldn't believe what he was witnessing.
I love this, man. I love this. So we'll leave on this point because obviously this is gonna we're gonna revisit this conversation as more and more comes out. But we'll leave on this point. You have to acknowledge that Jalen Hurts is a flawed quarterback, and you have to acknowledge that the people that just were being honest and saying, "Hey, we understand that the situation that he's in makes him look significantly better than he actually is," and there's going to be a time when he's forced to not be able to rely on one of the greatest teams ever put together. And we are going to really see who Jalen Hurts is. That time came last year in 2024 or 2025, I should say. And look what happened. And we'll leave right there.